This is CNT News. Today is July 13th, 2001, and in a dramatic series of events today, two armed men disguised as bank employees executed a daring heist at the T.R.O.Y at the Oregon Union Depository Bank at 10 a.m. Witnesses report that the robbers, who were dressed in what appeared to be standard bank uniforms, overpowered security personnel and made off with an undisclosed amount of cash.
Next weekend, it's the CNT original movie, Fear the Dark Finger. Coming up next, it's the tale of directionless heiresses and pill-poppin' playboys on I'm Rich.
At 10:30, the situation took a swift turn when an unknown individual pulled the bank's alarm, prompting an immediate response from local law enforcement. The bank was swarmed by police within minutes of the alarm being triggered. Surveillance footage from the bank shows officers arriving at the scene as the robbers were attempting to flee. The armed men tried to escape in a stolen vehicle, but were quickly cornered by police outside the bank.
Last night I think I shit the bed. Got so drunk I gave a dude head. Life is just a merciful blur when you pop a piss wasser. Piss wasser, don't drink it slow. 3 a.m. buy some low. Sleep in the bathroom on the floor. What really matters anymore? All the crap you do all day. Who fucking cares? Anyway, piss wasser, this is beer. Drive drunk off of beer. Piss wasser, drink all day. It helps your troubles go away. Yeah. Piss wasser, cheap German lager for export only.
This is Daniel Sanders from CNT and Today AM with Samantha Green. And can you describe what you saw when you arrived at the Oregon Union Depository Bank?
Oh, it was absolute madness. I was walking to work when I saw all these police cars racing toward the bank. At first, I didn't think much of it, but then I saw people running out of the bank. And it was clear something serious was going on. I ducked behind a car because there were so many sirens and shouting.
What happened next?
Well, that's when things really got crazy. I saw these two guys in what looked like bank uniforms trying to get into a car. They were obviously trying to get away, but the police were all over them. I could hear gunshots. And then there was this huge commotion. It felt like a movie, police cars screeching, people screaming, and these guys running for their lives. One of the robbers actually had to dive out of the car because it crashed into something.
Did you see how the police handled the situation?
Yeah, they were on top of it. They had their guns drawn and were shouting at the robbers to surrender. It was tense for a while, but eventually they managed to corner them. I saw one of the robbers getting led away in handcuffs, and he looked really beaten up. I think he got hurt during the arrest.
How did this affect you personally?
It was pretty shocking, honestly. I've lived here for years and never seen anything like this. It makes you realize how quickly things can spiral out of control. I'm just glad nobody I know got hurt. It was a close call for sure.
Back to you in the studio.
Police were alerted shortly after the robbery, and a citywide manhunt ensued. By 2 a.m., the suspects were reportedly spotted in various parts of the city, leading to a high-speed chase that zigzagged through Portland streets. Eyewitnesses described the scene as chaotic, with patrol cars and helicopters converging on the suspects.
Eric, can you tell us about your experience last night?
Sure, it was something I won't forget. I was driving home late around 1:30 a.m. when I saw this intense chase happening. It was all over the news that the robbers were being pursued, but I didn't realize how close I was to it until I saw one of them.
What exactly did you witness?
I was crossing the bridge on Main Street when I saw a high-performance car speeding up behind me. The car was going insanely fast, and I could tell it was one of the racers involved in the whole mess. The cops were right behind, lights flashing and sirens blaring. It was like a scene out of a movie.
Did anything particularly stand out during this moment?
Yes, the most shocking part was when the racer made a sudden move. He actually drove up onto the bridge's railing and jumped off. I couldn't believe at one moment he was speeding along, and the next he was airborne. The car went off the edge, and there was a huge splash when it hit the water below.
What did you do when you saw that?
I pulled over immediately and called 911. I was really worried someone might be hurt or worse. The police continued their chase, but I saw them eventually stop at the bridge. I heard they later pulled the driver out of the water. It was all really dramatic.
How has this impacted you?
It's been pretty unsettling. Seeing something like that so close to home makes you realize how dangerous these situations can be. It's hard to shake off the image of that car plummeting off the bridge. I just hope everyone involved gets the help they need.
In a separate development, the illegal racing community's hideout was raided by the Federal Investigation Bureau February 5 p.m. The raid, which followed months of surveillance, resulted in multiple arrests and the confiscation of several high-performance vehicles, along with a considerable cache of illegal racing equipment.
What did the raid uncover?
Upon entering the premises, we discovered a significant number of high-performance vehicles, many of which were modified for illegal racing. Additionally, we seized a large quantity of illegal racing equipment and related paraphernalia. Several individuals were taken into custody during the operation, and we are currently processing them for their involvement in these activities.
Are there any indications that this illegal racing ring might be connected to the bank robbery earlier today?
We are actively investigating any potential links between the racing ring and the bank robbery. While our primary focus was on the racing operations, we are aware of the timing of the robbery and the subsequent events involving the suspects. At this point, it's too early to draw definitive conclusions, but we are thoroughly examining all possible connections. We're working closely with local law enforcement to ensure that every angle is covered.
What can the public expect in terms of follow-up actions or updates on the case?
We will continue our investigation and provide updates as we make progress. Our priority is to ensure that all aspects of this case are thoroughly examined and that justice is served. We appreciate the public's patience and cooperation as we work through these complex issues.
Authorities have yet to confirm any connections between the bank robbers and the illegal racing ring. However, the day's events have left the city on edge, with residents and businesses bracing for potential further disturbances.